Okay. What's going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on?
Well, absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's not true. Big news.
Not until 8 o'clock.
According to our thumbnail, there's big news going on, B. I hate to break it to you.
There is big news at 8 o'clock, but it's 7:15 right now.
But some things have been leaked, so we can discuss it.
Oh, I was talking about my Chicago Sky making their season debut later on this evening.
Well, first of all, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button. Also, go ahead and follow us if you are new or subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are listening to the audio version of this, thank you. Okay, I'm seeing some growth over there on that side, B. All right, people still listen to podcasts. All right,
of course.
So, and just make sure you give us a 5-star review and share with your friends and loved ones. Okay, because we are trying to grow on that side. You guys, some of you guys don't know, but that's how we started. Okay, we started as audio only podcasts. Very briefly, and we swore we would never do YouTube. That was the, you know, that was the limit for us. We weren't going to go on camera, and here we are, almost at 2,000 subscribers. All right,
That's
help us get
ridiculous.
to 2,000 subscribers. All right. Let's see who's in here. Let's see. We got Omar was here early. He says, "What's up? What's up, fellas? What's going on with you, Omar?" Bazel in the house. What's going on, Bazel? Salute to you. We got Just Aloe in the house. Says, "Hello, LBHT Show. I hope everyone is great. Happy belated birthday, Jose." Hey, salute. Also, happy birthday to Coach. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to Caleb. Caleb's birthday was on the 11th, I believe.
Happy birthday, Caleb.
Yes.
He's not going to catch up with you, Just Aloe. That's not how time works.
Right. Yeah. Salute to Jared Green in the house. Salute.
What's up, Jared? We
got Living Big with Big Reg. Well, it's not Living Big Reg anymore. He says Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk. That's right. It's Big Boy Talk. That's right. Excellent show, by the way. You're doing a really good job, yes. Reg. You and Bazel. Great conversations, great topics. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to him. Okay. Irvin said, "Last, you are not last, Irvin. You're not last." Ravenville in the house says, "What's up, LBHT crew? What's going on, Ravenville? Thanks for coming through." We got Yolanda. Ravens Talk with Yolanda, one of the hottest Ravens podcasters out there.
I know she started blowing up and just been big leaguing us.
She has a big lead.
What's up, Yolanda?
What's going on? Thanks for coming through. We got Hendo in the house from the Rogue Pod. Says, "Whoa, look who has a bright screen and a shave." You like that?
My screen's always bright.
Yeah, his shape up looking kind of nice, isn't it? Kind of clean. Yeah, it sure is. We got Jeremy in the house. Says, "Hey, everybody. What's going on, Jeremy? Thanks for coming through." Killer Cam in the house. Says, "Hola, Jose." And mucho gusto, Brodny.
What's up, Cam?
Some dude tried to pull my car the other day. Try to say, "You don't speak Spanish." I broke a little Spanish to him. He's like, he's like, that backfired. It didn't work. I know a little bit. I know.
Like, as long as there are absolutely no follow-up questions.
Look, you
Spanish on you.
You got to know when to drop the mic. That's when you got to be like, now say something. Yeah. You know, and they try to talk back. No, too late. No. You embarrass yourself, son. You embarrass yourself. Okay. Be the change you wish to see. Says, "Greetings, flock. Hey, greetings to you. Thanks for coming through." Who else we got in here? DDSQ. Salute. What's good, DDSQ? I be saying in the house says, "What up, LBHT? Why does NFL hate the Ravens?" You don't hate the Ravens, man.
What do you mean hate the Ravens? You're at the most primetime games of anybody.
I know. It should be more. My man Sterling's in the house. Says, "Yo, what's going on, Sterling? I was going to call you today. I'll call you tomorrow. Says, "Y'all hit the like button." That's right. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. All right. We are going to shorten this show a little bit. long week, long night yesterday. You guys didn't see the fruits of our labor yet because there's some things holding it up, but we actually have a lot that we have been working on behind the scenes. We got some videos that need to come out. Yeah, it's just not out yet. But we are going to discuss what we know about the schedule. The schedule is going to be revealed as the show, goes on, but there are some things that have leaked out.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about WNBA because the season started yesterday. We thought we were going to have a video for you ready to drop, but we're just going to have to wait on that too. Whatever. We're a little disappointed in that. We did everything we needed to do. Okay.
Yeah, weeks ago.
Yes.
Daniel Franklin says, do you think the Christmas Netflix games will be broadcast locally for the teams playing? I don't think they are. I think they're exclusive on Netflix. I could be wrong, but I believe they're exclusively streaming on Netflix.
Okay. B, remind me to bring this up. These streaming platforms getting these games, Peacock, Netflix, and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Remind me to bring them up after the Black History Fact because I want to discuss that. All right. That's something I want to discuss real quick because I got some thoughts on that. But yes, we are going to get into that. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History Fact. And B, and Nicole. Huh?
I was saying, don't we?
Oh, yes.
We like to, yeah.
Yes, we like to. Yes. And B and Nicole have a Black History Fact for you.
And actually, before I play it, I want to say shout out to Osman because this one is courtesy of Osman.
Salute to Osman.
One of our patrons who sent us some ideas for the Black History Fact. So thank you very much, Osman.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. Henry T. Sampson, Jr. stands out as an exceptional figure in American history, celebrated for his groundbreaking work in nuclear engineering and his dedication to chronicling the contributions of African Americans in cinema. Born on April 22, 1934, in Jackson, Mississippi, Sampson's journey from a bright student to a pioneering engineer is inspirational. After starting his education at Lanier High School, Sampson's thirst for knowledge led him to Morehouse College and Purdue University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. His academic pursuits didn't stop there. He secured a master's degree from UCLA and made history as the first African American to receive a Ph.D. in nuclear engineering from the University of Illinois. Professionally, Sampson's expertise took him to the U.S. Naval Weapons Center and later to the Aerospace Corporation, where he worked on satellite power systems and launch technologies. His inventive spirit thrived here, leading to the creation of the gamma electric cell, which converts gamma rays into electricity, and advancements in rocket technology. But Sampson's interests weren't confined to science alone. He was also a passionate film historian, authoring pivotal works documenting African Americans' roles and achievements in the entertainment industry. His books are considered essential resources for understanding the history of Black cinema. Sampson's life was a blend of scientific brilliance and cultural advocacy. He passed away on June 4th, 2015, but his legacy lives on through his inventions and historical writings, marking him as a true Renaissance man who bridged the gap between technology and the arts.
All right. Salute to Henry Sampson. Yes. And salute to Osman for giving us that one.
Yes, thank you very much. And to just Allah's point there, I've looked it up while that video was playing, and yes, the games are going to be televised locally, the games that are streaming. That's the NFL's policy whenever they have, games that are not on broadcast TV, whether it's Peacock or Amazon or in this case Netflix, that the games be broadcast locally in those markets.
All right, so I want to talk about that for a second because last playoffs, that first round of playoffs when the Chiefs played the Dolphins, right?
Mhm.
We were in New Orleans. Me, OTR Mike, OTR Brandon, okay, a few of our friends, right? And we were planning on watching the game in my hotel room, right? Me and April got this little suite, whatever. Like, hey, I'll tell everybody, hey, just come through. You know, we'll watch the game over here. And it was on Peacock,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't get access to it. You know, we didn't bring a Fire Stick or anything like that. And I'm just like, damn, man. Like, you know, we went down to the bar. The bar didn't. Like, oh, we can't play it. You know, we don't have the app or whatever. And I was just like, you're doing that for a playoff game. And now, you know, you have Amazon has games. I mean, that was already something that, you know, I wasn't, you know, I mean, okay, you have Amazon. Everybody has Amazon, so it's not as big of a deal. Most people have Netflix, not big of a deal, but you know, they're trying to force you into, you know, buying all of these other
A,
streaming platforms.
a bit bigger deal now that Amazon is forcing you to not share passwords.
Well, yes, and Netflix,
Yeah, I
right?
mean Netflix, yeah.
Netflix. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not a fan of this. Like, you know, I like the streaming wars because it produces good quality content because they want your business. But when they decide to work together to try and make you
Mhm.
pay for everything, like it's, you know, cable television again. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not a fan of that. And you guys know how we roll. Get it by any means necessary. All right. E Street, we know it well.
Yeah,
You know.
you know, and you know, a lot of people are kind of frustrated. You know, Max and I believe Disney are teaming up for a new streaming platform this summer. Um, you know, and everybody's like, yeah, it's just like cable again. You got to subscribe to every single thing, and they all cost
Mhm.
a lot. Blah blah. Blah. Now, I mean, look, granted, even if you subscribe to every one of them, it's still a lot cheaper than cable was. Uh,
Well, it depends, right? Because I mean, these things they creep up in price.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even still, I mean, if you're getting all of the premium channels and whatnot with your cable, you're talking about over a couple $100 a month.
Yes, yeah,
Uh, but the thing is, the difference between this and cable is exactly what you just said, right? Um, no, I don't have to subscribe to Peacock. I don't have
no,
to subscribe to Netflix if I don't want to because the same platform that is allowing me to stream on Netflix will allow me to stream off of Netflix. And
yes,
that just wasn't the case before with cable. So you still, even though they are trying to team up and kind of squeeze the consumer base a bit, you still have options.
yes, and it doesn't matter what kind of laws they try to pass, what kind of countermeasures they try to put in place. They'll never be able to stay on top of that
No.
ever. So that is the one bright spot. You'll always find ways. You know, if you want it, you want it bad enough, you can find ways to watch these games. Okay, most of the YouTubers that you watch when they're streaming, they're watching their games. They're not watching it on Peacock, Netflix, and they're not watching it locally. Most of them aren't local,
Yeah.
right? So they gotta do what they gotta do to watch these games. So that's the one bright spot about, like B said. All right, all right. Oh, it's Danity's here. What's going on, Danity? He said the NFL is getting disgusting with these licensed app deals. I know. I mean, it's that's the natural progression of big businesses, right? They're going to keep trying to squeeze every last dollar out of you. You know, you got to fight back. What's going on, Living Legend? Yeah, Peacock. Yeah, man. Who else? We get everybody in here. Oh, Agent E. What's going on, Agent E? Salute to you.
What's up, Asian?
Thanks for coming through. All right. All right, we got 40 people in here. We got a few people over on Twitter. Twitter X is the most
Don't
confusing
call
thing.
it Twitter X. It's just Twitter.
Twitter. You know, sometimes we get like 3 views, sometimes we get 500 views, you know. But if you're watching over on Twitter, follow us and then come over here, hit that subscribe button. We're close to 2,000 subscribers. All right. Let's get close to that. Coach, get close to 10,000 subscribers. Go subscribe to Sip to Tally Films as well.
If you're already watching on Twitter, go hit up Carlos and tell him we need an update, because it's been a minute.
We'll talk about that in the Overtime Show. Overtime Show, it's an open mic night. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, I know what I want to talk about.
I know what I want to talk about too. But whatever you want to talk about, we will talk about it on the Overtime Show. If you want to be part of Overtime Show, go to patreon.com/LBHT Show. What's up, Griff?
And this is facts, and I know you call it that too. Old people call it Twitter X.
How you know? Tough Puppy, what's going on? He says it'll always be Twitter. So
That's right.
All right, let's fire up the NFL talk.
I mean, do you really want to do that? There's not really a whole lot to talk about with the NFL. I guess I suppose we could.
Let's do it.
All right, give me 1 second here. Let me fix the NFL talk.
Oh, okay.
There we go. And here we go.
There we go. All right. All right. So the NFL schedule, the reveal. I hate how they do all this stuff too. Just give us a schedule. Everything has to be on prime time. They have to capitalize on every aspect of the offseason.
Well, listen. That's because NFL fans pay attention to it. NFL fans give them the engagement. We're sitting here talking. I don't want to talk about the NFL schedule. It doesn't mean anything to me. But here we are. Carolina's going to be playing in Germany for some reason.
All right. So just to give you guys a heads up, we did 2 videos giving our early and reckless predictions on the season for both teams. Okay. This is before the schedule dropped, obviously. All right. By the time it goes out, it'll be a little dated, but it is what it is. It's still early. But parts of the schedule have been leaked already. The whole review will come out sometime during the show. It starts at 8:00. They'll trickle out bits of information on Twitter and whatnot. So you guys can give us updates in the chat. But the Panthers, is there what is going on with the Panthers? Anything significant standing out?
Jeremy asking if I'm going to London. Why would we going to London, Jeremy? They're playing in Germany.
He was like, maybe you don't want to see that. You just want to enjoy your vacation. Just go to London instead.
I mean, look, there wasn't really anything that's really stood out to me. I mean, obviously the Germany game it's exciting for football fans over there. I do think it's a good thing that they send these teams overseas and try to grow the game and everything, and get some more exposure for the NFL. Probably don't want that to be the Giants and the Panthers, but whatever. It's hard to predict, right?
Yeah,
that could be a great game by the time it rolls around. We'll see.
That's what they're playing, the Giants.
Yeah. They're hosting the Giants, mind you. It's a home game.
Hey, and that's a winnable game.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a win. I mean, no offense to Drew Lock or Daniel Dimes and or Nathan Rourke or Tommy Cutlets. You're not going to win that one.
Malik Neighbors.
I don't care how many Malik Neighbors you got on the team. You also got Jalen Hyatt. He catching a lot of passes over there? No, he's not.
Did you hear that? I guess Malik Neighbors had some bet with another player about who was going to get more yards this season, and then I guess after his first practice, he called off the bet.
You can't call off the bet, man. That's ridiculous.
Did you guys hear that? Did you? Where's Ferris? Did you guys hear that? He had a bet with another rookie. I can't remember which one it was. Who was going to get more yards or something like that, or touchdowns. And then he called off the bet after the first practice.
No, yeah. I'd be saying Baltimore's not going. Baltimore's playing on Christmas.
Yeah, and every other
and the 21st, mind you, 21st and the 25th. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Coach said it's true. He says, yeah, okay, yeah.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
They have a matchup with Chicago. Obviously, it's going to be a big storyline with Bryce versus Caleb Williams and all that. DJ Moore coming back to play Carolina. Outside of that, there's not, Carolina won 2 games last year. There's not a lot of storylines with that franchise outside of that franchise, right? The
Yeah.
story for Carolina is, hey, what are you doing to turn things around this season? And, all the moves that you made in free agency, the draft picks, the trades, all those going to get you moving in the right direction. But yeah, it's not really a schedule chock full of narratives for a 2-win team.
Like I said, narratives can be made. Okay, you can come up with something. I mean, Bryce Young was the number 1 overall pick, right?
Yeah.
And even though you can look at everything around him, that was a disaster. People will you're still gonna have detractors no matter what, and there are people that are doubting whether he can play or not. So
One
that's
of
the
them being
narrative.
Chris Sims. I used to respect Chris Sims too, but he ranked Bryce Young below Sam Darnold, and I'm saying I don't even know how you do that.
I mean, we're gonna find. Yeah, I mean, no, I can't. I don't see that. I mean, when he had time in the pocket, he looked good. I think his decision making and everything is fine. I think it's fine. You just gotta give him some protection. Guys gotta make some plays, and I think they will this year. I think you're gonna see a completely different Bryce Young this year.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even want to discuss like predictions on records or anything like that because we're doing a video on it.
Yeah. But what do you have to say about the Ravens schedule? Like I said, they have the most primetime games of anyone this season. It looks like, I believe it was 6. They're going to be playing on Christmas. They're going to be going up against the Houston Texans on 4 days rest. So revenge for Houston in that one is looking like. I believe they have I believe it's the Steelers that they're playing right before that Houston game. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's Pittsburgh. So, it's a little kind of a tough ending to the season there. But, also we know that they're opening the season in a pretty difficult matchup with Kansas City. So what do you anything stand out to you from what's out there?
Yeah, I mean, the Kansas City game, obviously, that's the first game of the season. I actually had us losing that. Spoiler alert, I had us losing that in the video that we were going to put out, but I didn't know that was going to be the first game of the season. We'll probably win that one because Kansas City don't care about the beginning of the season. All right. But, okay, what stands out to me is what's always stood out to me this whole offseason is that we don't have an O-line. I don't care. I don't want us to be on prime time if we cannot protect Lamar Jackson. All right. We still have time. I could just be flat out wrong about some of these players. But right now, I see us as having 3 holes on the offensive line. 3. Because I don't care if we drafted a right tackle in the second round. That doesn't mean we filled anything. We got to see if we can play. So I'm hoping he can fill that spot. We still have left guard and right guard, major question marks, to say the least. And if we can shore that up, I think we can have a very fun season like we did last year. If not, that's a lot of prime time to watch Lamar run for his life.
Yeah. Tough Puppy says Bryce is meh. You know what? Your face is meh. How about that? shout out to Ferris on that one. Agent E says you have an O-line, Jose. Yes, they have an O-line. The question is whether or not they're going to be good.
Right.
Doesn't look like it. But hey, anything can happen, right? And Andrew Voorhees could be that guy. Maybe they're hiding the guard version of Orlando Pace, over there. Maybe Rodgers is.
Is that what I stand for this?
Maybe Rodgers is the second coming of Orlando Brown, or Jonathan Ogden. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but
lots of maybes, and I don't like projecting. I don't like projecting things like that on guys that haven't proven it, right?
Yeah.
We could, because we do it a little bit as fans. We're going to do that, right? Like I think Nate Wiggins is going to be an excellent cornerback. I project that for him. He still has to go out there and improve it.
Yeah.
And we do that way too much on the offensive side, and it rarely works out, right? Like that. Right. I'm tired of saying, "Oh, she's going to work out," instead of having like some, just some straight answers. No, we got this short up because we went and got this person, or okay, we drafted, we used our first round pick to get somebody that we have we feel highly confident in. Okay, you don't feel highly confident in I forget his name. I was gonna say Rosenhaus. Roger, yes.
But Agent, he seems very confident. He says yes, they will be good this year. What are you basing that on, Agent? Just go ahead and throw that in the chat. What are you basing your belief that they will be good on? Because, I mean, at this point, again, you're talking about if it goes the way it looks like it's going right now, you're talking about 3 guys who have never been starters in the NFL.
Like, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, right?
2 of them who have never played a snap.
Let's be honest, because we're fans of the team, so we want to think the best of the team, right? But if we were looking at another team where they're saying they're going to start possibly a 7th round pick who's been hurt most of his college career, was hurt his whole rookie year, and he's in the mix to start at left guard. You have at right guard, possibly Ben Cleveland, who was a 3rd round pick who hasn't found his way onto the field yet. You would be saying that quarterback is food, right? Maybe a 2nd round pick, right tackle that they drafted this year will be the starter. You would say that team has some problems. You wouldn't be saying, "Oh, they're gonna be fine." I heard that 7th round pick looks pretty good. You don't say that about any other team. You say that about this team because that's your team,
right? Because if I ask how all these Ravens fans think the Panthers O-line is going to be this year, they'll all tell me it's going to suck, or be below average. Even though they have one established starter in Moten, they went out and signed a couple more established starters in Hunt and Lewis, and they've got their top 10 pick at left tackle. It'll still be, I'll wait to see it before I believe it. But
yes,
when you're talking about Baltimore, I mean, just because Eric DeCosta brought them in, they have just unlimited faith.
Right. And again, where's all this faith in Eric DeCosta coming from? That's all I'm saying. Like, you can still like him. You can still say, hey, I think he's still going to be good. But like this unwavering faith, he can do no wrong. Where's that come from?
And here it is right here. Big Red says it. I actually believe the Panthers are going to have a very good O-line. And Big Red is the biggest contrarian we know. So there it is.
Big Reg, a.k.a. opposite day. I'm going to say the opposite of what you say.
The other part for the Ravens, and Daniel Franklin mentioned it a couple minutes ago, is, O-line aside, you're starting Rashad Bateman as the number 2 wide receiver. Now, I think Rashad has some talent, right? He was a 1st round pick. He has made some plays in the NFL, but it hasn't really worked out for him. He hasn't lived up to that draft pick. He was the number 3 receiver on the team last year and got promoted by default because you just got rid of the number 2. You didn't do anything to he hasn't done anything to earn that spot. You didn't go out there and try to improve the wide receiver core. You just said, you know what, we don't feel like paying Odell anymore. So everybody take one step to your right and you've been promoted.
Yeah, I want to bring this up for Tough Pup because he's laughing at you, right? He says Panthers already gave Hunt $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Who on the Ravens O-line right now, especially at guard, is better than Hunt?
Like, we really gave Robert Hunt $100 million. Y'all are really sitting around praying that Dalton Reisner shows up.
Like, we got him on center, guys. Linderbaum's the man. We got him on center. What else? Because don't you dare say Ronnie Stanley. I'm the only one that still has faith in Ronnie Stanley. The rest of you have abandoned Ronnie Stanley. So don't you dare say Ronnie Stanley. He is better than Ekwonu. But don't you dare say that.
Is he though? He's better than year 2.
I can say that.
Ekwonu?
I can say that. They can't say that. They can't say that. Okay. But who else? Who else on this O-line is better than Robert Hunt?
Puppy said, "Hey, this is not about the Ravens." I mean, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, it very clearly says it is about the Ravens.
Yeah.
But thanks.
But
Thank you.
that is the concern I have. And again, like I don't want to be that guy, right? 60 people. Look, we got 60 and 60 people on Twitter, 60 people on YouTube. All right. Make sure you're hitting that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. We got 2,000 subscribers to hit. All right. Tell your friends and family about us. Okay. But no, that is the concern, man. I don't want to overlook that and just say, oh, it'll work itself out. I don't have that faith in EDC. He hasn't done enough for me to say whatever he drafted is going to work out. Whatever he put together is going to work out. He hasn't done enough for me.
Right.
Yeah, NDT Sports. I said Linderbaum. I said, yeah, we got him on Linderbaum. But who else? You know, Linderbaum he's nice.
You called him Linderbaum. Can't even spell it. Messed up.
Let us say Ghani Stanley.
It's a damn shame.
Oh man. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it could work out, and it could work out in spite of the poor O-line play because we have an amazing player in Lamar Jackson. Right. Mm-hmm. It could still work out. At least in the regular season, we could still have some success, but I just don't feel good about it right now. Still have time,
of course,
but I don't feel good.
And you know, the schedule from what we've seen so far isn't really doing you a whole lot of favors. Playing the Chiefs the first week is not a good thing when you have an O-line who hasn't played together at all, and 60% of it has never played or never started in the NFL. Playing the Texans, the much improved Texans, they look like 4 days after, I believe it's the Steelers, but whoever it is, it's still on 4 days rest. You know, on that Christmas Day game is not a great spot for them either. And again, this is a team that we kind of expect to take a step back on both sides of the ball, honestly. You know, the defense, even though they have put, some resources into the defense, like I said, drafting Nate Wiggins and TJ Tampa, bringing back Justin Madubuike, you still lost the majority of the senior defensive coaching staff. You lost the great defensive coordinator. You lost Patrick Queen. You lost Jadeveon Clowney, and you're just not going to be able to replicate last season's success, most likely. On the offensive side of the ball, obviously they got rid of 3 starters on the offensive line. They got rid of one of their starters in the wide receiving core, and they did bring in Derrick Henry, but again, you're already the top rushing team in the NFL. So how much effect is that really going to have?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when that Derrick Henry signing happened and we were kind of like, sorry. A lot of people were looking at us like, you guys you guys are haters. You can't be excited about anything, right? What else have we done?
Yeah.
Right. And we said at the time, if we do more, right, that's cool. But that can't be the feature. That can't be the highlight of our offseason. A 30-year-old Derrick Henry.
Right.
This has not been a good offseason, man. Yeah. I'm still hoping. I'm hoping. I don't expect. I am hoping that there will be a trade. Okay. I'm hoping that the talks of Deebo Samuel after June 1st materialize into something. I'm hoping that we do go and sign Dalton Reisner, whoever. We pick up some veteran help that I can just say, okay, that's better than what we got, right? Yeah. Like if something that can just make me feel a little better, because I mean, at this point, we're not going to build a wall. We're not going to have, stellar players along the O-line. But if we get some solid guys, I'll take that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm really rooting for that Deebo Samuel trade as well. I went and picked up Jawan Jennings in our fantasy league today, so I'm hoping for that to pay off.
Did you trade for him?
No, he was a free agent.
Really?
Yeah, just snatched him up off the waiver wire.
Who dropped him?
Need to pay attention. I don't know who had him initially, but I've got him now. So,
well, I got so many wide receivers. I mean, I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Moving on. Next up, we are going to be talking some. Where do you want to go to? NBA?
Let's do the NBA. Can we pull up the NBA background?
I mean, I don't think we need to try and do that right now. We need to do that when we're not on the air.
Oh, let's do it. We can do it right here. Oh, not that one. Hold on.
Hold on. I'll handle it. All right. You just calm down.
Oh, my
Goodness.
bad.
All right. So we're talking
Yeah.
some NBA playoffs. The last time we talked about this, the Minnesota Timberwolves were punking the defending champion Denver Nuggets up 2-0, talking all kinds of trash. Everybody said they were done. Everybody said that Jokic was kind of a joke. He didn't deserve the MVP. We turn back around, and the Denver Nuggets are up 3-2. Does not look good for Minnesota. Unfortunately for them, and I hope Ferris is here or at least listening, but unfortunately for them, their 4-time Defensive Player of the Year came back. And they threw him out on the court. They said, go stand next to Nikola Jokic. And Jokic said, oh my God, it must be Christmas. Because he has been terrorizing that man.
Yeah. Was it last show we talked about Gobert not shouldn't have gotten Defensive Player of the Year? It's looking like he's hurting them.
It does. It does look like that. You could kind of say, hey, that, nobody can really hold Jokic. And that's true.
It's true.
But a great defensive player could at least try to slow him down a little bit.
That's the thing. Slow him down. Gobert's not a likable person. Okay. And you're the defensive
about that.
You're Defensive Player of the Year. Like I said, you have to slow him down. Right? Yeah. Nobody's expecting you to shut him out, but like you have to be able to frustrate him. The way the team was performed without you those first 2 games. Well, he played in one of the games, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in the first game.
Yeah, the way you performed in the first 2 games, man, they look like they didn't belong on the court with you. Right? You had to muster that back up, man. Like you were up 2-0. Now you're down 3-2, man. You can't go out like that. I picked the Timberwolves to win before the series even started, and I was feeling good after those first 2 games. But, look, obviously the Nuggets are a championship caliber team, and this is what champions do. They don't lose their composure. They, they figure things out, and now we're going to see what the Timberwolves are made of.
Yeah. In a related story, related because the Nuggets just beat the LA Lakers, Nick Young was out there talking some trash about the Lakers and why things went poorly for them this season. He said they lost because they leaned on D'Angelo Russell. They kind of put their faith in D'Angelo Russell. He said they relied on the snitch, and the snitch fell through.
He's still salty about that.
He's still very upset about that. But he is not incorrect. That is exactly what happened to LA. I don't think it's anything to do with his off-court personality or anything like that, but on the court when it's playoff time, D'Angelo disappears.
Yeah, he does. And they knew that from last year, and they should have made some other moves, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Lakers, I was going to say this for a court of public opinion, but I want to throw this out here now. Reggie Miller, did you hear the comments he made, the subliminal diss he threw at LeBron James?
I did not hear it.
Okay, so he was, I guess this was the other night when he was talking about who was it? Somebody from the Timberwolves, right? Ant-Man, I think he talking about Ant-Man, about how he was taking accountability, and he's only 22, and he's taking accountability for their losses. He's like, you have players, you have active players who are on the Mount Rushmore of basketball that don't take that want to point the blame at other players and this is and that, right? So Nick Wright, I know people,
he must have been talking about Kevin Durant.
We got to fix his overlay too. Right, and Nick Wright put him on blast. He called Reggie Miller a coward. He was just like, say LeBron's name. Don't go out there and throw the subliminal disses, right? And Dan Patrick, that's it, because Dan Patrick and Reggie Miller are like this. So he's always on Dan Patrick's show. Dan Patrick pulled up the audio and he was just like, who are you talking about? And he's like, I wasn't talking about LeBron. I was just giving Ant-Man his props and this is and that. Like he completely sidestepped it. You absolutely were talking about LeBron, and I don't understand why you can't just say it. Like you're Reggie Miller, you talk trash. Why can't you just own it?
Because, as Nick Rice said, Reggie Miller's a coward. Yeah,
Yeah.
and because he knows he's wrong, there's nothing to it. He was just throwing shots, which
Yeah.
is fine. You know, if you want to do that, just go ahead and do that. We know that you don't really care about accuracy. You went on TV and said you own the Garden. You're like 7-23 in Madison Square Garden. Like you went out there and you did the choke sign in front of him and then lost the series. Like nobody cares about accuracy.
Nick Wright put those stats up there too. It was like 10 and 30 something. It was a bad record.
Yeah, no, it's very bad, but it's fine. Whatever. Like you said, he's a trash talker. He's going to talk trash.
Whatever. Said Reggie is right. How's Reggie White? Right. How's he right? That LeBron points the fingers at other people. When have you heard LeBron say these guys aren't getting it done? You know, like I understand. Like even though he's pushing 40, people hate LeBron's success. Man, they hate it.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Have you seen Brian's combine? I heard he had a good combine. I watched some of it, man. I'm like, that is the slowest release I've ever seen. That ain't look like a quick release.
He led the team in scoring. He was 4 for 10, 13 points in like 22 minutes or something like that in their game. He shot very well during the drills. He did not. He didn't look great in the measurements when they were measuring his height. He really came up short there. But outside of that, he's had himself a good combine.
Yeah. Good enough to get drafted. Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough to get drafted.
Especially in this class.
Okay, rest of the NBA playoffs real quick. You want to go through that? The Knicks are up 3-2 on the Pacers. Is that correct?
They are, and that series is over. I said it in our Discord. I don't know why Indiana always wasting everybody's time, man. Just go home. You're not going to win. Stop showing up for a couple games every series and just stretching it out. At least there's other series going on at this point that are interesting, that are still, could go 7. Because a lot of times the Pacers just they stretch out rounds with no intention of winning and nothing else is going on, and we all just have to kind of sit around and wait.
The Thunder Mavericks could go 7. That's tied up 2-2. Celtics and Cavs are playing right now. I think the Cavs will close it out tonight.
You mean the Celtics?
I mean Celtics, not Cavs. Well, yeah. The Cavs will help them close it
out. Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, and Karis LeVert are all out. But the Cavs are winning with 4 minutes left in the first half. So, yeah. Oh, never mind. Not anymore. Now they're losing.
Jim Smith said he's always blaming the coaches and players he handpicked. When have you ever heard him blame anybody? That is a perception that people have. First of all, he did have a terrible coach, right?
And by the way, he was not the only one who was blaming that coach. I don't hear y'all talking about Giannis, who and Lillard, who pointed at their coach when they were in the 1 seed and said, "Fire that man," because he's doing a poor job.
Oh well, I'm glad. Thank you, Slim. You just reminded me. Can we talk about Kevin Durant for a second? As some of you guys may know, I am a Brooklyn Nets fan. Okay, and when Kevin Durant was here and Kyrie and Harden, it was great for the 5 games they played together, but then it fell apart pretty quickly, and I blame Kevin Durant for it. I still don't hate Kevin Durant, right? But it just told me that Kevin Durant is not a leader. He's not somebody that you go and grab and say, we're going to build around you. Like, we're going to let you come in here like LeBron and put together your team. He can't do that, right? Brooklyn treated him like an adult. They treated him like LeBron and say, hey, okay, you want Kyrie? We'll move some players out. We'll bring in Kyrie. You want to fire Kenny Atkins? We'll fire him. You want to you want Steve Nash as your coach because you're friends. Okay, we'll trust you. All right, we'll trade away some future picks to bring in James Harden. They gave him everything he asked for, and when he couldn't manage those players, the guys that he handpicked, he wanted out to go to Phoenix. Okay, and Phoenix had to give up their whole bench, okay, the whole supporting cast to get him. And he's like, that's cool, just bring in Bradley Beal. But Bradley Beal is like, bro, I'm still on vacation. All right. And shocker, it didn't work out. And now there's talks that he has a problem, B. He has a problem with the coach. You know, they fired Frank Vogel. He has a problem with how he's being used. He always seems to have a problem. He picked that team, right? Because he thought they had everything that they needed to win a championship, and he's not making it work. They're saying he's not really like bonding with the team. You know, he's still kind of like just to himself. Doesn't really like I don't say he doesn't participate in practice, but like, you know, he just wants to show up to the games essentially. You know, but that's on him. That there you go. There's your leader. Okay. You got what you wanted, and this is where you're at. KD is just he's not that guy. KD, he needs to be on a team where he just needs to just fit in his lane. He can't be the guy on the team.
Yeah, unfortunate considering how talented he is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
can we fix this?
overlay? I mean, I can't fix it right now.
Well, we can. Let's just mute one of them. I want people to at least read it. So yes, and support the show. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about in the overtime show. Okay. You guys want to debate us on LeBron some more? Go right ahead. Okay. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. You got $5 in your pocket. You can hang out with us on the overtime show. We're going to talk about anything and everything. Okay. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But it's always amusing to me, the idea that LeBron, he gets all the players that he wants. He's the real GM of the team. So, like, he said, get rid of all these guys who we just won a championship with. I know that's the perception, like, oh, he wanted Russell Westbrook. Okay, so you brought in Russell Westbrook, and he said, get rid of Russ and give me Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Oh, D'Angelo played like garbage. Let's re-sign him and re-sign Reeves and sign Gabe Vincent. That was what LeBron said to do?
Yeah. So Smith says, so when they fail next year, whose fault is going to be, the players or the coaches? So, okay, it has to be one or the other in your eyes. Let me ask you something, because we do this in football too, right? Oh, the players got to play. All right, cool. So what's the coach's job?
And let me ask you something, Slim. And I want you to think real hard about this one before you answer. Who else at 40 years old do you hold to that standard? Yeah. What 40-year-old do you say, man, he better lead him to a title or else?
Right. We're not saying.
What are you talking about, man?
Right, because LeBron obviously is still very good. He's not the guy anymore. Right. It should have been. This should have been Anthony Davis's team, and they should have had all the pieces around them to where LeBron could be that, basically a number two. Anthony Davis number one, LeBron number two, and they have good shooters and a well-built team around him. Right. That's the Lakers' job. That's Rob Pelinka's job. Right. And they haven't done it. They're still relying on a 40-year-old LeBron. And he is held to that standard. Like, you can hate him, right? You can hate him. You can say, I don't like him for whatever reason. But you have to recognize his greatness. If you're sitting there saying he's not getting it done, he's the reason why they're losing in the playoffs. Like B said, you don't hold anybody else in the league to that standard. You don't even want to talk about KD. We just talked about KD. So tell me how you feel about KD. Who forced his way out of Golden State, forced his way out of Brooklyn, and now it's looking like he wants to force his way out of Phoenix. He ain't gonna be there. He'll play there one more year, and then he's gonna want out. Right? Damian Lillard just got to Milwaukee. Talking about get rid of our coach.
Basketball fans are silly. It is one of the silliest fan bases in all the sports. It's ridiculous.
All right. Okay. All right. Stay tuned. More basketball. Look, I know a lot of you guys are here for a Ravens talk. I mean, we ain't gonna talk about something. The schedule's coming out now, guys. All right. If you hear some breaking news, you can put it in the chat. But we know what you want. We know what you want. Slim says we got to stop bringing up age if he's still playing. Y'all want it both ways. No, Slim. Answer the question. Because we never said he's the best player in the league, right? He's not the only player in the league. You want to focus on LeBron. Bring up anybody else. I just asked you how you feel about KD, right? Who's your team? Who are you rooting for, right? Tell me another older player that you hold to that standard.
Because listen, the fact that you expect a 39 and going into 40-year-old LeBron to be able to beat teams with Jokic, teams with Gilgeous Alexander or Luka or Tatum and Giannis, anybody else in the league, tells you that he's the GOAT. So what are you even arguing?
Yeah, because
nobody expected Michael Jordan to take the Wizards anywhere.
You said Lakers, real Lakers fan. You're a real Lakers fan? Okay, what does that mean? As opposed to
I know what that means. It means he's a Kobe fan who hates that LeBron is in LA.
Well, okay, if you say you're a Kobe fan,
why should he retire? He's still playing at a high level. He's not the best player in the league. So should everyone not named Nikola Jokic retire, Slim? Is that what you're saying? It should be a one-man league?
Right.
Should Anthony Edwards retire when they lose their fourth straight game and get bounced by the Denver Nuggets because he didn't get it done? What are you talking about, bro? Oh, man, the team that's led by the 39-year-old got beat in the first round by the defending champions. He's a fraud. What the hell are you talking about?
But I wanted to bring up what he said. He said, y'all want it both ways. When he's having a good game, it's look at the GOAT. When he loses, he's 40. First of all, don't say y'all, because you don't watch enough of us to know how we feel about that, right? But we don't say he's the best player in the league. I mean, I think we said it like 3 times already. Okay, we're not saying look at the best player in the league, and when he has a bad game, he's 40.
Let me interrupt you real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Slim says he should retire because he doesn't care about winning. He just cares about stats. This person's a moron. We don't need to talk to him anymore.
Well, no, we're not gonna call him a moron. I'm
gonna call him a moron. He says he doesn't care about winning. He only cares about stats. That's a dumbass comment.
Well, okay. Look, I'm not gonna call Slim a moron. That was a moronic comment. Okay,
fair enough.
That was a moronic comment, right? That's not true, Slim. He badly wants to win. Okay, and even if you're saying he just wants his stats, I don't want to assume things about you, Slim, but I'm assuming you're a Kobe stan. I hate to break it to you, that's exactly what Kobe did down the stretch of his career. That's exactly what he did. He was awful towards the end. He said, not true. It is very true. It is very true. You can't look. I don't want to date ourselves. We remember. We watched him live. Y'all remember how he finished? What did he have? 60 points in that game. He was awful that year.
He was awful in that game. He shot 50 times in that game.
Yeah. Kobe carried teams down to the end. He did. Was that team a playoff team his last year?
I remember him quitting against the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs.
He said he's talking about KD. What's not true about KD? What's not true? Like, no, it's absolutely true. That is who KD is. Oh, you're a KD fan. I like KD. Don't get me wrong. I don't care. See, basketball is funny, right? I don't have to. I like the Brooklyn Nets. I root for the Nets, but there's a lot of players that I like, and I can just root for the players, and still like my team. I still like KD even though he left Brooklyn, but I still kind of chuckle when I see him struggling with Phoenix because he's doing the same thing he was doing in Brooklyn, man. Like he's just not a leader.
NDT says LeBron should retire. I know that's your boy, but he needs to go. Young ones have it. So Steph should retire as well. Well, once again, and this is the question that neither one of you seem to want to answer. If you're not the best player in the league, you should retire.
Right, because he can still play. I mean, do you guys agree that he can still play, or do you think he's completely washed? Like, be honest, right? We're not saying he's the best player. We know that. There's a lot of great players, and it's going to be an exciting league. He can still play though. He can obviously still play. Obviously, why should he retire? Bro, he tore his Achilles. Braun get a broken toenail and he's done. How many games?
What are you talking about, bro?
Okay, all right. That's enough.
You see what I'm saying?
All right,
this is why we should not have engaged with Slim.
Oh, okay. Don't bring up any more comments. All right, Slim, come on. You got to do better than that. All right, Sterling, thanks for coming through, man. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Appreciate you. NET Sports says he thinks he's washed.
Then you don't know what you're watching.
Yeah, you don't.
That's just all it is. Like I know that you're trolling because you just hate LeBron, but it's idiocy. Like LeBron James makes people stupid.
Danny says, how do you feel about them retiring Vince Carter's jersey? It doesn't make any sense to me. Jason Kidd was the focal point of that team.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
He was only there for, I think it was 5 or 6 years. But I mean, Vince Carter was a great player.
It was a great 5 or 6 years though. I would have retired it too. Man, Vince Carter was insane. He was insane, man. Like, you don't have to have the same kind of longevity in basketball that you do in football to have your impact on the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially for individual teams. I'm okay with it. I was just like you be. I was surprised, but man, we watched Vince Carter. Hey, what's up, Mikey? Salute to Mike. Hey, make sure you subscribe to Open Mic with OTR Mike. He is coming back soon. I promise you, he will be back soon. Subscribe. All right. He's close to 500 subscribers. Let's get him monetized. All right. New episodes will be dropping soon. But Mikey says, ain't nothing watched about LeBron 26, 7, 8 at 40 is crazy. Yes. Ain't nothing watched about that. All right. And Slim, real Lakers fan, I hate to break it to you. If LeBron ain't on this team next year, you won't be sniffing the playoffs.
No.
Okay. Court of Public. This went way too long. We really got into a heated NBA debate. I like it.
We want to do the WNBA first before.
Let's do it.
Go straight to?
No, we can do it. Let's do it.
So the WNBA tipped off the season yesterday. I believe there were 4 games. The biggest, of course, being Caitlin Clark's debut with the Indiana Fever playing the Connecticut Sun. Didn't go great for Caitlin. It was the most watched game in WNBA history, but Caitlin really, really struggled. The Suns defense kind of locked her up for the most part. She found her shot a little later in the game, but she ended up with 10 turnovers, which was a record. She did set a record in her WNBA debut, but the Fever got beat pretty soundly by the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to struggle. I mean, WNBA has a condensed amount of talent, right? Yeah. Because there are not enough teams. Mm-hmm. These teams, even the bad teams, are really good. Like, they have really good players on it. She's not going to come in the league and dominate. She's going to be good, I think, right? Mm-hmm. She'll find her way, but it's going to be a struggle at first. She's not going to go in there and be Steph Curry from the jump. Steph Curry wasn't Steph Curry from the jump. So she'll be okay. She did exactly what I expected. I knew these women were not going to let her go out there and go off. That was not going to happen.
She ended up with 20 points on 5 for 15 shooting. Had a couple of 3 assists, 2 steals, and like I said, the 10 turnovers in that one. They lost by 21. There was also the New York Liberty tipped off their season against the Mystics. Had a very, very close game. The Mystics were actually leading most of the way, but the New York Liberty, as the second best team in the league, kind of came back in the end and got that victory. I think it it was a very strong start for the Mystics, despite the loss. You kind of expect that you're going to lose to the Liberty. That's a super team, but the Mystics look really good.
Agent E, there'll be no disrespect to the WNBA in here. Okay, you can log off and come back in a little bit if you don't want to discuss WNBA. It's a growing sport. It is not boring. It is not boring. If you don't want to give it a chance, that's on you. But we are going to commit to talking more WNBA. I mean, I'm being honest. I didn't watch a whole lot. We watched a little bit here and there, but we are going to start covering it more. The sport is growing. Hey, geez. She ready to hit the gym every day. Yeah,
she does. Yeah. Okay, she did look a little small out there. I'm not gonna lie.
She did. And Jeremy said,
he says she looked good. She looked all right. To be fair, the Fever aren't good, but the Fever have had. She was the number 1 overall pick. They had the number 1 overall pick last year in Aaliyah Boston. They had the number 2 overall pick the year before with Alyssa Smith. And a few teams, including the current dominant team in the WNBA, the Aces. Won their titles after having back-to-back number 1 picks. So they are, the Aces did it. Seattle did it a couple times. So I think that the Fever are really kind of looking towards the future with this. Pairing Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, and giving them a little time to grow and develop together, and they should be contending in the near future.
And they're getting immediate returns on investment. The most watched WNBA game in history. And even though she didn't look good, she still scored 20 points. For the casual fan that's looking like, oh, she scored 20 points, right? Nobody, okay, 10 turnovers, whatever, no big deal. But look at the 20 points though. Okay, yeah. Now next game she goes and gets 25 points. Watch out. And then when she gets her first win, big news. Okay, Mikey says, man, when that girl picked her pocket like that, it was real from that point on. Oh yeah.
He's referring to, I believe her name, I want to say it's Dejanay. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Carrington. She was locking up Caitlin all night and scoring on the other end. I mean, she had a fantastic debut.
Yeah. Big Red says Carrington. Carrington's a beast. Yeah. Hey, look at this. MDT Sports and LBHT coming together. He says, I like Chicago Sky. So do we. That's our team.
That's not Jose's team. That's my team, MDT. They're getting ready.
That's our team.
I believe they tipped off about 20 minutes ago. They're having their season opener. Camila Cardoso not playing, unfortunately. She had the shoulder injury in preseason. She's going to be out for several weeks still, I think. But Angel Reese is making her debut. And, again, you're talking about a team that's kind of building around a couple of rookies. It's not likely they're going to be contenders this season anyway. But they're kind of looking towards the future.
Yeah, they're going to need some time to, the women no different from men. Like it's not a young woman's sport. Okay, it's a grown woman's. Same thing I say for basketball. That's a grown man's game. It's a grown woman's game.
Yeah.
All right. Rookies ain't gonna come in and dominate anything.
I'll tell you, I saw Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum show up at their game yesterday because the Aces won their debut as well.
Of course they did.
They didn't look like they had a single care in the Caitlin Clark world. Okay. They're not worried about that.
Yeah. Yes, grown women, but I think Angel Reese and Cardoso are going to be beasts.
Yeah.
I
that's going to be a formidable front line for Chicago.
Yeah.
For a very long time, I think.
Our Chicago team. Let's go.
Not our Chicago team. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why can't I be a fan of Chicago?
Because I said it first. All right. So moving on, we are going to be going into the court of public opinion. If you're ready, you ready for
all this? Right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this is not the real court, but it is the court that matters. Court of public opinion is coming up. All rise. Court is now in session. Look, order, I be saying. He said, who's guilty? Order. Okay, we're going to present some cases here. You guys love this segment. You guys
They
love
love
this segment.
convicting people is what they love.
They love it. They love it. All right. Now, okay. Man, Twitter is blowing up. Why is everybody watching on Twitter? Hey, whatever. You watch on. Hey, hit that like button over there. Give us a follow. All right. You're still over here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Okay. And come over to YouTube and subscribe over here. We need 2,000 subscribers. Okay. NET Sports says, I hope Golden State team gets Juju in the future. I think that's the plan.
They're not getting Juju. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I think
that's the plan.
No. I shouldn't say that because it depends on how they implement the expansion teams. Because as our friend Ferris, who is going to be joining us in the future to talk about WNBA, as he pointed out, the Toronto team is coming into the league the year that Juju is likely coming into the WNBA, and they should be getting the first pick and Juju. I believe that Golden State, I'm not sure when they are actually starting. I believe it's next season. So if they are starting next season, they should be getting Paige Beckers, which is, I mean, maybe even better.
Agent E, don't make me call the bailiff to escort you out the courtroom. Okay?
How am I hating? Well, I didn't even say nothing.
You call him be a hater. All right. We will have order in the court. All right. You can see on the scroll on the ticker. Okay. Shaq versus Shannon Sharp.
I don't know why I put Sterling. Oh my God.
You got you're trying to convict the wrong person.
Oh, man,
all right.
I miss Sterling, man. That was terrible what happened to
I
him.
know. Shannon Sharp is what it should say there. Shaq versus Shannon Sharp.
All right. What do you mean?
Huh? It's still
That's
there.
What it does there.
No, it says Shannon. Okay, now it says Shannon.
Yeah,
now it says Shannon. Now it says
Shannon.
All right. Do you know what happened with what's going on with these two?
Vaguely. I know that it inspired a 85-year-old Shaq to get back in the booth.
Okay. All right.
That's never good.
So, did a little research. I was going to download some clips, but it was just too hectic of a day. But okay, here's the summary of it. Okay, Shaq tells Jokic that he thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should have won the MVP, which we agree, right? You agree? I think SGA should have.
Yeah, I picked him at the time because they're the youngest one seed in NBA history. He didn't have better numbers than Jokic, but I mean,
it's not 100% about
yeah, and I thought it was a great accomplishment. So
yeah, okay, but Jokic, it's not like it's not a travesty that he won either. But okay,
I'd be saying that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. You're lucky I don't ban you right now.
What? Hey, I be saying order. We will have order. Okay. Wow. What's up, Zeke? You say I'm late, but what's good, family? What's good with you, Zeke? All right, have a seat, Zeke. Okay, we got to have order in the court here. Danny says Team Shaq, Shannon taking too far. Okay, all right. So here's what Shannon said, because you and I first discussed this. We were like, okay, Shaq he doing too much, right? Because Shaq does that. But Shannon basically said, Shannon said, okay, Shaq is jealous of Jokic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you and I, discussing it, that could be true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shaq doesn't like any big man getting close to him in terms of all-time greatness, right? Because when we think of most dominant centers, like he may not be the best center ever, but most dominant center, we think Shaq, right? He doesn't want anybody coming close to that, and he'll take little shots here and there at players. Okay, fine. So Shannon Sharp pretty much said that, but then I think your boy did take it too far, because then he started talking about how he can't be considered a GOAT, right? He can't be considered amongst like the all-time greats because he only had one MVP, right? And then he said that he said that he didn't have great work ethic, but if he had Shannon's work ethic, he would have gotten some more MVPs and some more championships. I think that is what set Shaq off. That would have set me off, right? I mean, yes, Shaq has talked about how he didn't he didn't, go hard in practice because he wanted to preserve himself for games and whatnot, right? There's been, reports about him and Kobe arguing about him coming to the season in shape and whatnot. But this dude who wasn't the player in his sport that he is that I am in mine is going to tell me, oh, if you were like me, you would be even better. I'm already better than you, right? No matter how you want to measure it, I am better than you, right? Like, yeah, I would take offense because, first of all, your peers. It's one thing you and I are talking about Shaq, right? We're not his peers. We're not in the same profession, right? They're peers. They're gonna run into each other. They may work with each other. There's some things you gotta be more tactful when you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, if you had my work ethic, you'd have been great. You're not an all-time great right now because you only have one MVP. By the way, Kobe only has one MVP, and Shannon thinks he's an all-time great. But so I get where Shaq is coming from.
Okay, so from my point of view on this, first off, MVPs are a measuring tool, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The reason Shaq and Kobe only have one MVP is not because they weren't great players. It's because people didn't want to vote for him for whatever reason.
Yes,
particularly with Shaq. There's no argument to make that he wasn't the best player.
Whoa, I don't mean to interrupt, B. Chris White says, y'all Kobe slander is crazy. Saying that he only had one MVP is slander? Telling you the facts is slander?
Once again, Chris, what are you talking about? What is it you think you heard just now? Come on, man. I said, man,
you said Kobe? You said Kobe?
Oh! The most sensitive people on the planet, bro. Like, calm down.
All I said was Kobe had one MVP. And
jeez.
I'm sorry, B. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But anyway. So yeah, like there's no argument that Shaq wasn't the best player in the league more than once, right?
Yep.
But I think the other part of it is kind of correct. I think that Shaq is a little. I think he regrets, not going 100% throughout his entire career and racking up more accolades. And he kind of doesn't. The way y'all said it was like. You going on timeout, bro. You going on timeout.
Chris, you had it coming. I'm sorry, man. You had it coming. I was trying to
timeout, man. No. The way y'all said it was wild, man.
Baylor, take him out the court. Make him walk it off.
Anyway, but I think he does. He doesn't want to have other centers talk. Like, because Kareem is one thing, Olajuwon's one thing. Bill Russell. Those are guys, all-time greats that he respects and all that. But he doesn't want anybody else coming up and potentially passing him, right? And the reality is, Jokic is closer to him than I think a lot of people would want to really admit. Right?
Yeah,
he's had a few dominant seasons. He's the best passing big man ever. He's one of the best passers ever. Period. He does have his 3 MVPs. It should be 4. Now he does only have the 1 ring, right? But he's only 28 or 28 or 29. So that can change, right? They're obviously the favorites or have been the favorites to win this year. We'll see how the rest of his career plays out in terms of championships. And when you look at Shaq, like at first blush, it's like, okay, he's got 4 rings. He's way ahead, right? But one of those rings, he was a clear sidekick to Dwayne Wade. And we don't really count those when we're talking about the legacy. Another one, it was, pretty blatantly the referees cheating to move the Lakers along against the Sacramento Kings. Right.
Well, okay. I want to object a little bit to that. Because we do give you credit if you're the sidekick, because that's what Kobe was.
But no. See, because people say he wasn't a sidekick, and that's how they justify that. Like people don't talk about. Yeah, he was, but people act like he wasn't. People don't talk about Scottie Pippen having 6 rings, right? It's Jordan has 6 rings, and Scottie was on the team, even though he has 6 rings.
But I think it'd be different. I think it'd be different if he got 4 rings with MJ, and then he got 2 on his own, or was with just without MJ on the team. I think it had been discussed a little bit differently. They would count all of it together. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't a role player. Yeah, okay, so the number 2, yeah, but still a very good player. And if he had he won when MJ retired, I think the way we look at Scottie Pippen would be completely different.
But I don't think that we would be putting him in a conversation saying, okay, he's the all-time great. He's got 7 rings. Is what I'm saying. Like people don't really count those the same way. Like right. You got to be the man on the team. So
like he said, relax on Scotty slander.
But yeah, and so I think that's just kind of I feel like it's just kind of a little petty side to Shaq, right?
Okay.
I mean, if we're talking, because there's different ways to be great, right? Mm-hmm. And if we're talking the peak, you could make an argument that Shaq is the best center ever, right? Like you said, he was one of the most dominant players we ever seen. I mean, we talk about Rudy Gobert. That's what he did to Dikembe Mutombo when Mutombo was one of the top defensive players ever, right? Like he would just toss him aside and just have his way with him. The other one is longevity, and Shaq doesn't have he doesn't have that as much as some other players do.
Okay, mm-hmm. I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
And has Shannon left it at that, mm-hmm. I'd be saying, hey, and again, and it's all about how you say it too, right? Had he left it at that, he'd have been fine. But when he put himself into it,
well, yeah, I was getting to.
I'm sorry, I stepped on your toes. I'm sorry.
Laying the base there. Shannon comparing himself to Shaq is ludicrous. So yeah, he did go too far there. Shaq, he was at one point, arguably the top tight end of all time. Maybe. There were some other guys in the conversation, but he was arguably there. But nothing close to what Shaq was in the NBA at his peak. So no, it was obviously too far, and I think Shannon is a bit full of himself at this point. With the success he's had in media, but I also think that Shaq went a little overboard with a diss track.
He did, but I
guess he's got a lot of time on his hands, right? So it's whatever.
Yes, Shannon has been doing this for a few years now because yes, he's one of the all-time greats in the NFL, right? One of the greatest tight ends ever. Won 2 Super Bowl rings, and he's not shy about telling you that, right? Mm-hmm. When he's discussing things or he's arguing with people. He used to do it to Skip all the time, which you got to put Skip in his place. But when he's arguing with other people, he'll flash them rings, be like, hey, I'm one of the best to do it. And I think he just kind of forgot for a second. He kind of lost his mind for a second.
The facts right here.
Shaq wanted to capitalize off of Kendrick and Drake.
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to say Shannon had 3 rings. He hopped on Terrell Davis's back along with John Elway to get a couple of that.
He had 3 rings. And Shaq has 4. And Shaq is considered one of the all-time greats as well. He's considered the most dominant center. Nobody considers Shannon the most dominant anything. No. Okay. Great, obviously, but you compare the careers, it ain't close, bro.
No.
It ain't close. And has Shannon taken that little part off, one, I don't think Shaq would have went at him like that. Right? I think Shaq probably just let it go because the other stuff has been discussed by many people, right? Because he put it out there about practicing and whatnot. But when he said, oh, if you had my work ethic, bro, who are you? Who are you? I don't care how much you work out. You could never be Shaq. You can never be Shaq. This reminds me, story time. When I was in the military, there was this dude, could not stand him. I'm not going to say his name. I'll spare his name. You know who you are, right? He was friends with, we had a mutual friend who, I was in the Air Force. We had a mutual friend who was in the Marines, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to my friend Kevin, man. And Kevin used to always ride me, man, because I kind of half-assed it on my PT test, right? Because Kevin was married to somebody who was in the Air Force that I worked with, right? So we do our PT test, it's all scaled, right? You do push-ups, sit-ups, and then depending on how you do on that stuff, you have a timed run. But if you max out on everything else, you don't have to run as fast, right? I could do push-ups for days. I could do sit-ups for days. I can knock out 70 push-ups in under a minute. Like I was like that, but I hated running. So when we get out on that track, I could max it out about like, like a brisk little jog, right? Kevin hated it, right? He used to drive out there and just yell at me while I'm running, like, move your ass, hurry up, right? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna pass in an optimal time. I'm not gonna push it. But I could do that.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend one day, because he used to struggle passing the PT test just in general. Okay, always miss weight, couldn't do as many push-ups. The run, forget about it. He started working out with Kevin, got in a little bit of shape, feeling good about himself, passing the PT test, got a little promotion, and we're all sitting down one day, and we were just talking, and he was talking about his PT test and whatnot, and how he improved. And this fool had the nerve to say, "Garcia, you don't have any military bearing." I said, "Excuse me?" He was like, "Yeah, because you don't put your best foot forward when you do these tests and this and that." I said, "Bro, you just got off the Fat Boy program. You need to back all the way up, right?" I said, "I don't have to push myself. I can pass because I'm in shape 24/7. All right. I don't have to go out there and run this. Don't ever compare yourself to me just because you just now got a little bit in shape." I said, "We can go race right now. I will smoke you. We can have a push-up contest right now. I will smoke you." Right? Don't ever compare yourself to me. That's what Shaq is feeling. That's what Shaq is feeling right now. All right. Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah, and who is it in here? Yeah, Daniel Franklin saying, didn't Shannon Sharp put up a goose egg for us in the Super Bowl back in 2000? Someone should remind him of that. He had one catch for 5 yards, but I mean, that was a 34-7 blowout. So I mean, it's kind of whatever.
He helped us get there.
Interesting fact about Shannon Sharp. He had 18 career playoff games, and he only had 5 over 50 yards. So not exactly a primetime performer. That's what I'm saying.
What's up, Antonio? This is my good friend Antonio. Says, "What's up, guys? I can't wait for the season to start. Shannon overstepped and forgot Shaq was a rapper." Hey, you guys subscribe to Antonio Clark Art. Okay, he's got a YouTube channel. Man, Antonio has always had the artistic mindset since we were in high school, man. He does dope artwork, man. Do me a favor and support my friend. Go subscribe to his channel, please, and thank you. Yeah. Shaq is classically trained in the art of battle rap, unlike Drake.
All right. So we're gonna throw up the poll here. Vote for who you think. What do you want to say? Who you think is guilty, or who you think is
who you're voting in favor for?
Yeah, who you think is in the right? If you think Shannon is in the right, it's hashtag Shay. If you think Shaq is in the right, it's hashtag Shaq.
This is going to be interesting.
I'm kind of split on this one. I do think it is. I wasn't siding with Shaq initially because I thought the diss track is over the top, but he was very disrespectful.
Yo, but that's what I was saying, right? Like you and I were kind of on the same page. And by the way, there's about 100 people over on Twitter. You have to come over to YouTube and type it in the chat if you want your vote to count. Come over to YouTube, or you just do it on Twitter. Just tag us, whatever. But I was the same way until I heard the audio, because we talked about this the other day, and I was just like, man, Shaq just he's a hater, right? But then when I heard that part where he was just like, if he had my work ethic, your work ethic, you didn't even say Jokic's work ethic. You know what I'm saying? If he had a Joker's work ethic, he would have more. Like had he kept it about the Joker, cool. What's your part in any of this?
Yeah.
So this is looking like a clean sweep, boy. Zeke, you got to put hashtag Shaq. Mikey said hashtag abstain. Get out of here, Mikey. Shannon ain't invited to the family cookout no more.
Agent E saying Ben Wallace owned Shaq. No, that is not the case.
He did for that finals.
He absolutely did not.
He didn't.
He did his job.
He did. No, I'll tell you what he did. He did what we're asking Rudy Gobert to do: slow him down.
Only a tad bit.
That's all. But that's all.
But I was saying. So Shaq in that finals against Detroit averaged 26 and 10 and shot 63% from the field.
Yeah.
What they asked him to do was
don't let him score 30 per game.
Right. You keep him from scoring 40, 50 a night, and we're not going to give you any help. And he said, "Bet, I got you." And they won in 5.
But that's what you do as a great defender.
Yeah, no, for sure. But he absolutely does not own Shaq.
No. Let's see. Killer says, "What are we voting on? You're voting in favor of either Shaq or Shannon. Okay, Shaq hashtag Shaq or hashtag Shay. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Shaq couldn't do nothing against Ben Brodny. No, he did.
Averaged 26 and 10 on 63% shooting.
He could. He could do a lot.
Bro, I swear to God, we're basketball fans, man. Like I'm so done. We're no longer talking basketball on this show.
Yeah. Antonio says, "It's apples and grapes comparing the two when you make a slogan in the NBA, hack a Shaq." Yeah, because you're that dominant. It's not close. Yeah. That's true. Shannon just he overstepped.
To be fair, it's not you can't. It's difficult to be dominant in the NFL in the same way as in the NBA, especially at a position like tight end. But you weren't close, bro. You were not close. Like if he had Travis Kelce's numbers in the playoffs, and he's like, look, when it's on the line, I'm the man. Like there's nobody close to me. Like you can make that argument, right? But he was not that.
Yeah. So this is pretty. Who voted for Shannon? Just curious. That had to be Big Reg. Was that you, Big Reg?
I think it was somebody who said he wanted it to be different. I think
Agent E.
I think he put in the wrong.
It was Agent E. We got you.
No, he put in hashtag Shannon. That don't even count.
That's true.
Donnie J voted for Shay. I think it was that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I see you, Donnie. Yeah, okay, that's all right. You want to vote for him? You can vote for whoever you want. Okay.
A dominant victory for Shaquille.
Yeah, man, and talk about a twist of fate, because I was certain he was going to be guilty until I heard that little bit of evidence. that little, and it's the most Shannon Sharp thing too.
Yeah.
Right. He's saying all these things. I hear him talk, and I'm like, all right, man. Like he probably should say it differently because they're colleagues, but he's not wrong. Right. That's what I'm thinking the whole time. I was like, okay, he's not wrong what he's saying. He could probably, he should probably just be a little careful how he said it, because Shaq also said too, hey man, you're taking what I said out of context. I'm not hating on Joker. I'm supporting SGA. I said I didn't say Joker didn't deserve it. I just said I thought SGA should have won it, and a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we're saying we're taking that as him hating because of what he's said in the past about other players, right? But the things that Shannon was saying about him were true up until that point of, well, if you worked out like I did, you wouldn't have anything to worry about, big dog. You should have been working out at Club Shay. Got himself in trouble. Had to do it. All right. There are no submitted questions.
Well, we have one come in during the show, so I think we'll go ahead and do it real quick.
Fire it up.
All right. All right, so I don't actually have it set up here on the banners because it did come in the middle of the show, but I'll just go ahead and ask it. This comes from Living Legend. What are your thoughts on Gonnie Stanley this upcoming season?
He means Ronnie Stanley.
I don't think he does.
I think Ronnie Stanley is the second best offensive lineman on the team behind Tyler Linderbaum, and I actually think he's going to play better this year. I have faith that he's going to be healthier, and I still have faith in a healthy Ronnie Stanley. I'm not ready to give up on him yet because this is exactly what Washington fans did with Trent Williams. Okay, I know a lot of Washington fans. This is the same thing they were saying about Trent Williams when he was in Washington. Oh, he's always hurt. He ain't worth the money. And as soon as he left, the most dominant left tackle in the league. Not saying Ryan Stanley's going to be that, but I think he just needs to get healthy. Yeah. And once he's 100% healthy, you're going to see more of the old Ronnie Stanley back. I don't think he's washed yet.
I agree. I tend to agree. I think that he's not going to get back to what he was, but I think he's going to be a good, solid left tackle as long as he stays healthy. And that is the terrifying part for Baltimore, that he has not been able to stay healthy recently. And now you don't have starters across the board, and you certainly don't have a replacement for Ronnie if he goes down, because Patrick McCarty is not that.
Yeah.
But I do think as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a good, solid left tackle, not a top tackle, but he'll be solid.
Why you blame me for the Shay vote? You know why, Big Reg. All right, so that is the submitted questions, guys. So Living Legends only one that gets points. Yes. But you get points if we read your question on air. You guys submit it. Okay, you can DM us, you can email us, however you can get in contact with us. LBHT Show. If you Google Lunch Break Hot Take or LBHT Show, you will find us. All right, and submit us a question. And if you ask us a question on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, whatever, put the hashtag submitted questions. Okay, so we know it's for submitted questions. Okay, and then you'll get some points, and the points are good.
Sorry, I'd be saying I don't know where you're getting the idea that Ronnie Stanley is going to give you minimum effort. He's a dude who has come back from injury early and played through it to try and get out there on the field for Baltimore. The decline of Ronnie Stanley is, that's the fault of John Harbaugh and Steve Saunders and those guys running the team, not Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, I mean, John Harbaugh said it last year that he was playing hurt throughout the season. He said it, right? Like, he knows his guy is hurt and he's still out there because they don't have any other options. This is also EDC's fault, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that you don't have a replacement is, I mean, Stanley always being hurt is on the coaching staff and trainers.
Now, I'd be saying, who was the other one said it? Is that who else is saying? NT Sports. Look, I hear what you guys are saying about Ronnie Stanley, right? I hear you guys, and a lot of people share that sentiment. But I'm gonna ask y'all again, how y'all feeling about the O-line? Okay, I think you guys are on the same page with me, but a lot of people, a lot of people on one hand will say Ronnie Stanley's trash, but say nothing to worry about with the O-line. Andrew Voorhees is going to be great. He might be a Pro Bowler. He might be All Pro. He can be anything, which is true. He could be anything because you haven't seen him play yet.
Yeah.
The likelihood is he's going to be nothing at all. That's more.
I see. I'd be saying you're projecting a lack of effort, so you're basing it on nothing.
Yeah, I don't trust players who take a pay cut. He didn't take a pay cut. He's going to get paid if he plays all his games. Oh, he got a donation. Shout out to Buck for a $5 donation. It says, "I need them points. Hope fellas doing well." Hey, shout out to you, Buck. Appreciate that. If he plays all his games or the majority of his games, he actually makes a little bit more money, I believe. It's just restructured, so like if he misses some time, yeah, he could earn less, but he didn't take a pay cut. The line's going to be bad. Okay, yeah. We'll see. No, we'll see. I'm not a fan of O-line. Ronnie Stanley, I mean, like it or not, he's the second best O-lineman we have.
Until further notice.
Yes. Yeah. So, a random Shook appears. What's up, Shook? Shay said, I'm just here for my points. And you know how many points you have? You get nothing. 0 points. You don't get points for checking your points.
Right. All right, so I think we can do trivia time and then get up out of here.
Yes. This was supposed to be a quick show. This has gone on too long. All right, we're gonna do trivia time, and then we're gonna go to the overtime show. If you have not checked out our overtime show, man, and sign up to Patreon, man. It's $5. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be more if you want to donate more. I got a nice coin for you. Okay. Got a nice coin. All right. That's the $10 tier. You can get a coin and you can get some playing cards. I don't think it'll show it, but it's the blue screen effect. These are the Ring Kings podcast playing cards. Premium cards, by the way. They're really dope. It's got all some historically great fighters. This is from our top 25 all-time list that we did, okay, on Ring Kings podcast. So you can get that as well. We got all kinds of things on Patreon, but for just $5, you can get access to our Discord, okay? And that's a one-time fee. Once you're in there, and the way you guys are chatting right now, we do that in the Discord all day, every day. And like I said, the overtime show, which we have a lot of fun, and you can bring up a topic and we'll discuss it. Well worth the price of admission. So go over to patreon.com/LBHT Show and sign up today.
Yeah. All right. So the Denver Nuggets, as we discussed, are the defending champions. They came into the second round looking pretty unstoppable, having rolled through the Lakers. And they ran into the Minnesota Timberwolves and immediately lost 2 games at home. They have since won the last 3 and look like they're on the way to winning the series. So the trivia question is, who was the last defending NBA champion to actually, let me put it on the screen here. I don't know why I didn't put it up there. To win a series after being down 2-0 or 0-2, I guess you could say.
Okay. Oh, look who's back. Warbone is back. Says Cowboys beating Ravens and Panthers this season. Yeah, all right.
No, again, we discussed this. You don't pull up his comments. You went coward mode, man. Like, you can't just come back in here commenting like it's all good. You have to donate to get your comments on screen.
Warbone's still our guy.
No. Listen. He's fine. He can come in, watch the show, chill in the chat and all that. But if you want your comments on the screen initially, you better be hitting the Cash App with the stream elements. With the way you disappeared, where you went Houdini after your boy Dak was getting embarrassed. All right? Don't come back rolling. It'll roll back in here like it's all good.
Warbo, don't take that verbal abuse from him. You don't have to take that. All right. I'd have dipped out too. Antonio said, I know y'all already talked about the Ravens schedule. What do you think the record will be? Antonio, actually, we have 2 videos coming out. We were trying to get them out today, but it got held up. But they're queued up. They're going to go out, one for the Ravens, one for the Panthers. Our early and reckless predictions, and we talk about what we think the records are going to be. So we don't want to disclose it here. The videos are going to go out hopefully tomorrow, and you will see what we predicted. Okay.
All right, we got 1 correct answer in the chat so far.
Oh, really? Okay.
Let me go ahead and give that person the points.
All right, I'm going to guess the Cavs. I want to say it was LeBron's Cavs came back from 0-2.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what are you saying, Mikey? He says B Shakur tonight. I see. Wait, Shakur? What's Shakur? Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah, he did have a interview earlier talking about Frank Martin. I don't know what he said though. So.
Oh, okay, all right.
Other than he's not elite.
Shakur trying hard, man. He trying hard to get a fight. I'm not mad at him. Boxing's a tough business.
Yeah.
It is be on his Tupac tonight. Antonio says, on a completely different subject, please tell me you were watching X-Men 97. I have not watched the episode yet. I'm going to binge watch. Antonio, I don't like the week-to-week thing anymore. Okay, we lived through that, as our child, during our childhood. I will not tolerate that anymore. I will not stand for it. Now that it's all out, I will binge watch it because Big Reg said that it's the greatest show ever made. I don't think that's true, but apparently it is amazing. So yes, I will be watching it. I will be watching it. All right. Let's see. Okay. We got an answer. Any more answers?
Hold on. Let me take a look here through the chat.
And while B is looking, I want to remind you guys one more time. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. All right. Antonio says it's fire. Okay. Oh, you're doing a season review? Nice. Go to Antonio Clark Art and subscribe. Okay.
Yeah, we do have 3 correct answers. It was the 2023 Golden State Warriors.
Oh, okay.
Very, very recent. It hadn't happened for a while before that. Before that, it was the Spurs. But yeah, the Warriors, they went down 0-2 against the Kings and came back to win that series.
Oh, okay.
The year after they had won the title.
Yeah, you're right, Slim. The Cavs did come back 3-1 against the Warriors. That was the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, but they were
in the finals.
Yeah, that was when they won the title. I'm talking about the following year. So that was the Warriors were the last to do it. So congratulations. I think it was Hendo, Jeremy, and Buck who got that correct. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody here.
Congrats.
We got Hendo, Jeremy, and Buck. Yes. So I'll go ahead and get those points updated.
Yeah.
And I think that is it for tonight.
That is it, man. You guys almost got us, man. We were trying to do like an hour show. Okay, Big Reg. Thank you, Big Reg, subbing to Antonio's channel. Me and Antonio go back, man, back to high school. We didn't even go to the same high school, but we've known each other since high school. Good friend of mine, great artist. Okay, loves comic books. So Big Reg, you're gonna love his content. All right, and everybody's, man, subscribe anyway. Subscribe whether you like comic books or not. Look, good guy. Just hit the subscribe button. Okay. If you're over on Twitter is blowing up today, B. It's one of those days, man. Man, just follow over there, okay? I gotta post some more stuff on there. I gotta post some more clips and whatnot. But yes, 2,000 is the goal over here. Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Film. You guys know who he is, all right? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. He is very close to 10,000 subscribers. That is a huge milestone. Okay. We got to get them there. Ring Kings Podcast, right? That is the show that we do with our brother OTR Mike. Okay. We are close to 500 subscribers over there. We need you guys to help us get there ASAP. So hit the subscribe button over there. And also Open Mic with OTR Mike is coming back as well. How many of you guys know what OTR stands for? Put it in the chat real quick because we got to get out of here. I know you know. What does OTR stand for? Somebody put it in the chat. OTR.
Not the Nitro version. Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate you, man.
Nobody knows what that is. Thank you. That's right, living
there
legend.
There you go.
Yep. Oh, I took it down. My bad. Hold on. Off the record.
I'm about to give you some extra points for that.
Yep. Off the record. That is from his previous podcast, Off the Record podcast, all right, that he did with OTR Brandon, OTR Quan, and Alex, all right? That is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of stuff that is being worked on behind the scenes. We're not involved with that, but we're just fans just like the rest of y'all. But Off the Record podcast is coming back. Open Mic with OTR Mike is coming back. So subscribe.
Chris says on the road. It is not on the road. I am going to tell you to go to YouTube, search Off the Record podcast, scroll right past that clown academics because this is the original Off the Record podcast. I think you'll enjoy it, Chris.
I'll tell you what. After the stream, just come back and click on the replay. I will put the description. I'll put the link in the description. So you guys can find the real Off the Record podcast.
Did you see?
Because they had it first. They had it first before academics.
Him, right?
Huh?
You saw the story about him, right?
I did. Well, okay, we can talk about that. But This is the real Off the Record podcast. They had it before Academics. They're the real Off the Record podcast. All right. There's been a little inactive, but Mikey would tell you he got his lawyers on it. All right. So see, you had a name first. Don't make me call the. There you go. Don't make me call the lawyers. That's right. I got you, Mikey.
Hey, Bill says link your boy as well, Antonio.
Yep, will do. And also Living Legend. I put his link in a few of our videos. I'll put it in this one as well. Living Legend. He's got a new album out. Living Legend is an amazing producer. He produced some dope beats. All right. So support your local artists. Okay. Support our family. Okay. Because we are building a community here. So it takes 2 seconds to click links and subscribe and check out the content, man. I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. He said, don't worry about Academics. He's getting 10 to 20.
You can tell by his mannerisms. He was like, I'm going to jail.
But pay the bills. Pay the bills. Antonio Clark Art. Okay. Yeah. Right here. That if you search that should come up. But I'll put the link to his channel in the description as well.
I'm going to say he's bringing the whole industry down.
He did say that.
Nothing screams I'm guilty like I'm bringing you all with me.
Yeah, Antonio, you gotta make some more content, bro. You gotta make some more content. Definitely. All right, we gotta get out of here. Hashtag guilty. Y'all are cracking me up. All right, overtime show. All right, overtime show. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. $5. I know you got $5 in your pocket. Don't go to the store and buy that Snickers bar. All right. Don't go and pay the DoorDash. Just go pick up the food yourself. You got the $5. Go to patreon.com/LBHT Show. Wow. We're going to be doing the overtime show right now. Wow.
I'm gonna say go ahead and order DoorDash anyway. You got an extra $5. See, I'm a friend of the little guy. Jose, I don't know. Jose out here trying to bankrupt y'all.
Man, DoorDash, they stole my food again.
Well, I mean, listen, you do live in a questionable area, all right?
Yeah,
that's only happened to me once, and it was during Popeye chicken sandwich season. So I don't even.
So you forgive them?
I don't forgive them. I told DoorDash, don't ever send that dude to my house again. But I understand.
All right, we getting out of here.
He was so considerate. He brought the fries and the drink. He just took the sandwich. He's like, I gotta try it.
Anyway. He said YOLO. All right. All right. B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
B is ready. Patreon members, get ready. The overtime show starts in a few minutes. Everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a great night. And we will see you very soon because we got a lot of content to drop. We even teased the WNBA thing, but one day when it comes,
it's coming soon.
It's coming soon.
We got an update.
Oh, we got an update?
We did get an update.
Okay, all right. You guys need to support this. This is big. This is big. This is big for all of us. Okay, you need to support this video when it comes out. All right, you need to tell everybody you know to click on this video. All right, it can have some huge implications down the stretch. All right, maybe possibly, but anyway, y'all have a great night. We'll see you next time. Peace.